All right, looking at number 1, we have to fill in our absolute value equation. I can tell that because of its shape. It is shaped like the letter V. So I have to fill in A times the absolute value of x minus h plus k. So just a few reminders that our h and our k are our translations. H is moving our graph left or right, and K is moving our graph up or down. A is kind of like our slope of our lines coming off of our vertex. It can do one of 3 things. It can reflect your graph, meaning turn it upside down. It can stretch your graph, and that is if the absolute value of that number is bigger than 1. Or it can compress your graph, which is the opposite of stretching, and that happens if the absolute value of that number is less than 1. And then just to write it down, your graph is being reflected if it is a negative number. So let's go ahead and look at our vertex first. Normally it is at the origin, and this one's going to the left 2 and down 5 spaces. So since it's going to the left 2, inside my absolute value signs, I need to have the opposite sign, so plus 2. And my k value is going down 5. That sign stays the same, so minus 5. And then to figure out our a, I always like to think of it as like the slope of going through our vertex. And it looks like I'm going up 3 over 1 consistently to get that right side of my absolute value. So up 3 over 1 means we're having an a value of 3. So my final equation would be y equals 3 times the absolute value of x plus 2 minus 5. If we look at number 2, I have a linear function because it is a straight line. So we're going to be filling in y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. So looking at my graph, it is crossing the y-axis at -4. And my slope, if I read my graph left to right, looks like I'm going up 1 over 2 all the way across. So my slope up 1 over 2 is going to be 1/2. Now, the next thing I want us to notice is that I don't have arrows on either side of my linear function. I have an open circle and a closed circle, and so that is going to have a domain restriction. So we are going to have this line if, and we have particular values for x. So I am starting at -6, and I am working my way all the way to 2. So my x values have to be between that. And since I have a closed circle at 2, that can be equal to, and I have an open circle at -6, so that is going to stay strictly less than, and it's not going to have the equal to piece.